Salutations to the Lord, Parabrahma, to the Guru Parampara, the Guru Tattva, the Swaguru. Salutations to the Shruti Mata. Salutations and welcome to you all who are Mukshus, the Jignasus, the Shrotas, the Bhaktas, the Sadhakas, and wonderful Shishyas of the Guru Parampara. All the time engaging in those things in which Atma Tattva Nirupana happens, Atma Prapti Marga is caught, and preparation for that and moving in that direction. Minding these four are sadhanas. Apart other than from it, anything from within ourselves by our initiative or anything as a response to the world from outside done other than these four will only dilute our sadhana, will only obstruct our sadhana. And only three things we have to always mind about. One is the people. Either see the divine in everyone or carry not the load of anyone inside the mind if it is required to interact with them. If it is required to interact with them without having the load in the mind, having seeing them, Lord in them, that much interaction we can do with the people. If these are not required, it is always better to keep away because they consume our time, attention. Then no, they will also give me their time, but they are giving time to us. How is it helping our spiritual sadhana? If it is, our goal is outer worldly thing, then you give them time and some advice, they also give. But in spirituality, it is I all alone by myself have to do. Nobody's help can help me. Isn't it? Even God Guru, having taught, having given conveniences, they stand apart. They only watch us doing sadhana by ourselves, isn't it? Therefore, little intelligent we become to save ourselves. When required, interact. What is required, that much. But always mindful of the mind to protect. We can no more now take any such things for granted to further or continue disturbing our mind when we are now in the process of purifying our mind, quietening the mind, and wanting to be more and more clear regarding our goal and sadhana and actually doing it. Same applies to the objects. When they are required, we involve with them. When not required, we need not. Again, they also create the impressions and they make the mind get agitated into thoughts. They distract our continuous constant flow of contemplation on the self which we have chosen. Somebody can continue for many lives in this way, jumping from one to the other, the worldliness and spirituality, spirituality and worldliness, that never gives the result of spiritual unfoldment. As nowadays we are understanding, to be exclusive in spirituality, inside and outside, is the only way for doing the sadhanas deeply and experiencing the self. Therefore, Vastu Jalam also not so much to be given importance beyond requirement. Anything they can do. You list out what are they giving importance to which we are getting distracted in the form of vrittis. Once you discover the deep self, then everything is seen as self. At that time, even something is perceived at the upadhi level, that doesn't disturb us. But अभी तो मिला नहीं ना हमको अनुभव, तो उसके लिए हम जब जा रहे हैं तो ये सबसे बच के रहना. Third thing is the worldly experiences. Continuously they keep on coming because of the weathers, because of the peoples, because of our earlier karma, as a karma phala, variety of the anubhavas come. And they all are at the upadhi level only. Valuing them again, it creates a dent in the form of guilt or regret or happiness or misery or liking if it's a good experience, if you label it like that, disliking, etc. So no, ठीक है, चलता है in life. Wonderful. Just be watchful about all अनुभूतिस coming and going. So वस्तु, व्यक्ति, अनुभूति, even the परिस्थिति. When we have learned the art of not allowing them to disturb our spiritual poise, we are really getting matured. Then apply one's all abilities, attentions. जितना है अभी, बहुत कम होंगे yet. Apply them only in pursuing the path, and in the path pursuing, 4 things are: one is listening regularly, second, studying as a homework, third, noting those important points, fourth, obviously, the contemplation, meditation, etc. These are our 4 sadhanas: Shravanam, Adhyanam, Mananam, Dhyanam. More and more time we give it. And for doing so, when we need the energies of mind, concentration of the mind, some upasana, some japa, ityadi we do. So in these things, our life fully has to be spent. And look what happens when we do so to the world. Nothing will happen to the world. And what do we lose in the world? Nothing we lose. But the gain is we are progressing in our path by our conscious, careful, committed, intelligent efforts. इससे बढ़िया और क्या चाहिए? So let us that way be enhance our spiritual movements. Spiritual movements also and spiritual practices ये अपने आप नहीं होते हैं, consciously खुद को करना पड़ता है. And as we saw yesterday in introduction, use that word, we have to get those breakthroughs every day in our life, in breaking through the barriers to be able to put a step ahead, isn't it? So that way, let us always calculatively move in our life only in the sadhana path, congratulate oneself to whatever the extent we have reached, extend gratitudes to so many divine forces who are freely left in this world by the Devatas and the Guru Parampara for the use of such sadhakas. Like, from the internets and websites, how many millions of those things are left in the world. Whoever is tuning to that, he is receiving them, isn't it? So many channels, sites, all वो बस छोड़ रहे हैं इधर में in a subtle form. So I have my own equipment, I am tuning to it, that I am getting. So the good programs are there for our phone and TV to tune, the bad also. The same way, for our own antakarana, to tune to the bad, to tune to the good, good bad are sent in this world. By the worldly people, good are sent by the saints and sages. So when we that way committedly do sadhana, somehow the tuning with their blessings happen, they start falling on us. This process can't be seen, but we can believe it. We can have faith. And like example, Puja Gurudev definitely must have done the sankalpa and must have given Shakti to his sankalpa, that whoever are on the spiritual path, taking his name, might of us Shakti should help them in sadhana. So to Bhagavan Adi Shankara must have sent that sankalpa and vibration. Whoever are studying the Bhashya, through Bhashya Upanishads, they must be given these Maitava Shakti. So to Vyasa Bhagavan, so to Paramatma himself, Shruti Mata, isn't it? Hota hai, pakka hota hai. When we love all these great saints and gurus, respect them, there the Bhau Shakti helps us in sadhana. Having faith in it, keep on moving. So let us move further today in our study. Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम निधये सर्व विद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शंकरं लोकशंकरम्। ओम भवयेव भवानिति मे नितरां समजायत चेतसि कौतुकिता मम वारय मोहमहाजलधिं भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणम्। ओम ब्रह्मानंदं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि। ओम परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ऐतरेय उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः। ऐतरेय महर्षये वेदव्यास महर्षये आद्यशंकर महर्षये नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव प्राप्ति सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिक हिन्दव संस्कृतेः साधनानां शास्त्राणां योगानां साम्प्रदायानां प्रक्रियाणां पुनरुत्थान जागरण विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वाध्यात्मिक प्रगति विश्व शांति विश्व कल्याण विश्व एकता विश्व पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् कर्मणि निष्ठित अस्माकं सह समस्त साधक भक्त सेवक आचार्य गुरु संस्थानां पूर्णायुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्य क्षेम स्थैर्यादीनां प्राप्ति द्वारा शक्ति साधना संपदा सानुकूल्यतानां प्राप्ति द्वारा बाह्य अभ्यंतर शत्रु विघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये दिग्विजयार्थं ऋग्वेदान्तर्गत ऐतरेयारण्यकान्तर्गत ऐतरेयोपनिषदः पारायणमध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम मनस्तावदपशान्त्यै यस्य पादनकच्छडा शरदिन्दुनिभाभाति तं वन्दे नीलचिन्मणिम्। ओम अथ प्रथम ओम अथ श्री ऐतरेयोपनिषद द्वितीयोऽध्यायः शान्तिमन्त्रः। ओम वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य वाणीस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासैः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम्। ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ओम अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः। ओम पुरुषे हवायमादितो गर्भो भवते यदेतत् रेतः तदेतत् सर्वेभ्योऽङ्गेभ्यः तेजः सम्भूतम् आत्मनेव आत्मानं बिभर्ति तद्यदा स्त्रियां सिञ्चति अत येन जनयति तदस्य प्रथमं जन्म तत्स्त्रिया आत्मभूयं गच्छति यथा स्वमङ्गं तथा तस्मात् हीनां न हिनस्ति सा अस्य एतम् आत्मानम् अत्र गतं भावयति सा भावयित्री भावयितव्या भवति तं स्त्री गर्भं बिभर्ति सो अग्रे एव कुमारं जन्मनः अग्रे अधिभावयति सयत् कुमारं जन्मनः अग्रे अधिभावयति आत्मानमेव तद्भावयति येषां लोकानां सन्तत्या एवं सन्तता इमे लोकाः तदस्य द्वितीयं जन्म सहस्यायमात्मा पुण्येभ्यः कर्मेभ्यः प्रतिधीयते अतः अस्यायमितर आत्मा कृतकृत्यः वयोगतः प्रैति स इतः प्रयन् एव पुनर्जायते तदस्य तृतीयं जन्म तदुक्तं ऋषिणा गर्भेनु सन् अन्वेषाम् अवेदमहं देवानां जनिमानि विश्वा शतं मा पुर आयसीररक्षन्नदः शेनो जवसा निरदीयम् इति गर्भ एव एतत् शयानो वामदेव एवमुवाच स एवं विद्वान् अस्मात् शरीरभेदात् ऊर्ध्व उत्क्रम्य अमुष्मिन् स्वर्गे लोके सर्वान् कामान् आप्त्वा अमृतः समभवत् ओम शांति शांति शांति. Friends, before starting the second adhyaya, Bhagavan Adi Shankara elaborately giving some discussion as an Anubandha Bhashyam, which comprises the summary of the earlier first chapter, introduction to the second one, and sorting out some of the doubts, etc., which arises. And as we already have said so many times, Vedanta Marga is Vicharana Marga, contemplation wala Marga. So through the contemplation only, the wrong notions, misunderstandings, wrong concepts are replaced by correct understandings and acceptances. This is how Vedanta works. So what's required here is a very concentrated, very powerful, very inquiry-oriented, subtle and pure intellect. With that, when we follow Shrutimata and Bhashyakaras, Bhashya, slowly we come to those deeper understandings. Through that understandings, first, Siddhanta Rupena ascertaining that the self alone is the reality. It is one without second. Its Swarupa is Sachidananda, and we have to avoid in it. And for that, these are the sadhanas to be done. Siddhartha Jnana yahan tak. Uske baad, then once we know these are the things to be done, when we clearly do, keep on doing it, Anubhuti happens. And it is such a mixed up of so many things. For a long period of time, maybe some years, it appears to be confused. But when we are consistent, every understanding comes. Then, though all of those things are there mixed up, but the clarity will come to us that nothing is mixed up. Like in a machine of 20 parts. For a first-line superficial onlooker, it appears to be mixed up. है ना, लाइक इलेक्ट्रिकल बोर्ड में काम करने वाले इलेक्ट्रिशियन, इतने तार होते हैं, अर्थिंग वाले इसके उसके वगैरह वगैरह, बट इट इज नॉट मिक्स्ड अप टू हिम. ही इज सो कॉन्सेंट्रेटिंग, ही नोस. है ना, लाइक इन शादी में तो इतने आइटम बनाने होते हैं 20-30, तो फॉर ऑनलुकर मिक्स्ड अप, अरे हाउ कम, बट द वन हु इज ए मेन कंज्यूमर ऑल ऑफ देम, उनको कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं. Isn't it like when you put for a building material near that empty plot land, appears to be mixed up, but to that contractor builder there is no mixed up. Everything is so पक्का उनको कि कब कौन सा material use करके क्या करना. In the same way, when we are very regular, consistent, without giving up, as we are doing now, we continue. Everything is understood. All of them are in us, and what to do at what time, it will be known to us. Meaning is what? Ki first somehow, with what reason we don't know, only by kenabi karunikena acharyena only, kadachit. We have to find some interest in spirituality. Second, to pursue that basic spirituality of superficiality also, we have to keep away the world very forcefully for some time. And that gives us little freedom with which we are able to apply in spirituality. एक step और आगे जाते हैं. ऐसे so many things कर करके we come to level of studying Upanishads with all the load of the confusions. Not that confusions gone away, but then they are at their own bare place. not disturbing our study. Like nowadays, our study is going on, yet the worldly confusions, all of them are there, isn't it? Then after be attentive, as we said just now 2 minutes back, study of Upanishads for a long time, when the theoretical knowledge has become absolutely pakka. Regarding this, the self is the nature of self, self with this nature alone is reality, I have to realize myself to be that. For that, these are the sadhanas to be done. सिद्धांत सब समझ में आया, फिर भी the hold of the world and worldliness, फिर भी the vasanas, फिर भी the prarabdhas, फिर भी the so many variety of duties or compulsions. Suddenly वो सब छोड़ के हमको freedom नहीं देते. That's what I was meaning. We have to go through all of them. We can't question, but I understood Shastra, but still why the mind is behaving like that? It's behaving like that, you have to start that also. But I want to be so spiritual, but why I want to leave these duties? You should not leave the duties, you should perform them in such a manner that you are fulfilled and automatically you withdraw. Isn't it? In that way, what is meant by we have to go through all struggles till that more and more deeper meditations establishing in that comes. And remember, the purity of our antakarana by negotiating outer things and our sadhana. Like the two tracks, they go parallel and parallel. Sadhana acha kar rahe, the wisdom comes and that makes us live life in a pure manner. When we are pure in our attitudes, intentions, performances, that gives that again some more strength to do the sadhana in a better manner. Opposite also true. When sadhana is reduced, listening to class is reduced, the impurities of Rajo Tamo grow. When they grow, then they don't allow us even to come to the class. Isn't it? Totally we go away from the Shastra for that life. And whomever we blame, I believe they are all wrong. It is we who are at mistake. Isn't it? Where is the mistake of ours? Only one place. That while leaving all the class and satsang, we have not discussed with our gurus and acharyas. And we should clearly tell them, should I leave this spiritual path and go? You will tell definitely you should not. That we know. That is why we don't tell him. And thus we go away. And that one mistake we can rectify ourselves. How much our urges inside there, compulsions inside there, forces are there to push us away from path. If one thing we do, what? Don't take decision. Like Arjuna, how powerfully he was in confusion and delusion. Forcing him to take the decision of running away from the war, seeing all the people. The only good thing Arjuna has done to himself is he has not decided. Then what did he do? He asked the Guru, the Adishankar, the Bhagavan Krishna there. And Parikshit also. He did not decide. He just surrendered to the Guru and asked. That's the only one which saved them from going into the distractive path to coming to the spiritually evolving path. That is why the need of the Guru and Acharya, to whom we confide or we totally surrender and we tell all the things. Isn't it? That Acharya knows कि भाई तुम इतना साधना कर रहे हो फिर भी तुम इतने फंसे हो, अब ये छोड़ दिया तो और भी फंस जाओगे. Therefore he will never say, okay, you leave and go. He may say, you leave me, but hold on to some other Guru. But छोड़ो मत, ना गुरु को छोड़े, ना शास्त्र को छोड़े, ना साधना को छोड़े. Come what may. I am telling this all in continuation of the thought that when we leave sadhana, the impurities grow. When the impurities grow, we reduce in our sadhana. Finally, we leave everything and go. That decision लेने के time थोड़ा consult करने से we are saved. At least if he knows, you will pray. नहीं भाई, otherwise क्या होगा? You totally detach from him. Then he comes in an obligation. Should I even pray for him or not? Especially as I was doing earlier. He stops because you are not coming. General prayer he does for every buffalo, every cat and dog that they should also evolve. वो तो होता है. So therefore, having said this negative thing, but before that we said positive thing more. The positive is more purity we are gaining by fulfilling our duties and not entangling in the world. more subtle becomes our sadhana. More subtle the sadhana, it adds to the purity. In that way, complementing these two, you have to keep on moving. So, in this Sambandha Bhashya, for the second Adhyaya, first thing discussed was what is the final Vakya Artha. And that is said, in and through everything, one Atma alone is there. That one without Atma is Aham, myself, that is Brahma. This is the purpose of saying the entire story. Okay? The whole explanation from Atma va idam ekameva agre asita nanyat kinchana mishat sa ikshata lokanu suja. From there onwards, the entire first khanda, adhyaya of 3 khandas. Now then, second topic started when the disciple asked the question, how come like an ant making a hole, it enters, or a hole is there, it enters? How Bhagavan made that Sima Vidaranam and entered into it? Because he is all pervading. Why should he enter? How can he enter? Pratham Simanam Vidarya. And then to that, Guru Maharaj, Siddharthi Haste में क्या कहा? Oh my dear, your chodhana means prashna or question or jignasa or inquiry or question or doubt should not be only this one. Then what? Everything what is said in the first chapter 3 khandas, all are questionable. He listed out all the things. You know how beautiful is this Bhashyam, which reminds us as what we have studied in those first 3 chapters. The essence pura humko yahan milta hai. Everything should be that way questioned, doubted. Then the Purva Paksha said, that means therefore Anupapannam eva syat. That means therefore whatever is said so far is untrue, unreal only. Then the Guru starts saying, the whole thing that is story told is definitely untrue, unreal, but it has a purpose. We see the way of discussion. It has a purpose. And for that purpose, the whole drama is narrated in front. And that purpose is already said in the Mahavakya or the Saramsha Vakya. And he, by 4 or 3 or 5, 4 I think, logics or explanations, he tries to say that why the Shruti Mata telling this Srushtivada, though the Srushti never happened, Parabrahma alone is there, then yet the Srushtivada, Shruti Mata ne kaha, either or even other texts also are required, have a purpose to fulfill. What? Srushti has no purpose, but the discussion जो बताया है, the step by step जो ये जो परमात्मा ने सब बनाया ना, उसका एक नतीजा है. We gave you so many examples yesterday. The purpose of the mother is really not to bring the moon or do all that. Her purpose is to feed the child that it is not eating. So a doctor has to give injection to the child. You will not stay, देखते सुई इतना आंखों में पानी आता है. We have all gone through. Then the mother, father, the doctor. अब इतने सारे अच्छे मिठे बातें बोले. None of them are true or real. It's only to poke that fellow with that injection. In the same way, to convey to us, Ekameva Advaya Brahma and Atma, that the whole Srishtivada is explained because we are at this present moment in the fully involved delusory experience of the world being real. Again I am saying, we are totally involved in the delusory experience as real, that is the whole world. Just like when we were in dream, so much fully involved in the dream world as if it is real. कभी कुछ तो सपने इतने पक्का लगते हैं, really that is being experienced. वाह, पता होगा आपको? जवाब नहीं दे रहे हो मतलब देख रहे होंगे अभी ख्वाब. कैसे कैसे ख्वाब? We are in the delusion of taking that dream as real. It doesn't appear as delusion. It is experienced as real. When you wake up, then you know it is a dream. So to the mental hallucinations, ऐसे ट्रेन में बस में बैठकर उसको मनोराज्यम कहते हैं. See, these examples are so important for us for the initial push into the Vedanta. Otherwise, with that solid looking, real looking anubhava of this world, rejecting this world and accepting the never seen and never seeable Brahman becomes ever impossible. That is why very rare are the ones who walk this path. And in this you have to have the anubhuti, then only moksha. In path of devotion, भगवान आए ना आए क्या फर्क पड़ता है? I do उपासना to him, जो मेरे को चाहिए वो दे देंगे, काम बन जाए. There are like lakhs of people going to temples. Nobody is bothered to have Bhagwan's darshan actual. मूर्ति देखकर खुश है, बस भगवान I have given application, you just reply. है ना? In all those ना नैनीताल area में, in all those grama devatas, you can see hundreds and thousands and lakhs of bells. बांधकर they write the letters there. हमको ये दे दो वो दे दो. I really enjoy seeing all those bells. इतने बड़ा से लेकर छोटा जो हमने भी बांधा. Long back. So in devotion what चलता है? In Vedanta you have to experience that which is never seeable. And at the cost of the beautiful world we are experiencing. I can't, Baba. That is why especially intellected and blessed alone can walk this Vedanta marg. But it's a Vihanga marg. And एक बार click हो गया ना, then it's over. The moment it clicks that the world is mithya, then you are no more in samsara. The moment it clicks that okay, deha ka prarabdha chal raha hai, deha never becomes a burden thereafter. Whatever happens, yeah, it's prarabdha. One moment it clicks. So to once it clicks that the Brahman alone is real, his nature is Sachidananda, हो गया वो. Then on the seat of meditation, थोड़ा वो instruments, उपाधियां थोड़ा गफलत गड़बड़ करते रहते हैं, उसको sort out करने में कुछ some few years of exclusive secluded meditations are required. बस हो गए. So we are seeing the world as so solidly real. From this we are to be taken into the understanding about the one without second Brahman. So for that sake, the Shruti Mata adopted this upaya of Bhagavan and his creation, creating power, creating abilities, and created, therefore you are, whole world. But he did not stop there. Shruti Mata did not stop in saying the creation. It said the three more things. That's the most important. One, that Paramatma himself entered Srimana Vidarya. Two, he got identified with the three avasataha and went through the three anubhava for a long time. Never ever he was woken up by any number of the mudgara prahara of the anartha and the dukkha. दूसरी बात. तीसरा, in some of the one life, कदाचित परमकारुणिकेन आचार्येण that आत्म ज्ञान उत्पत्ति शब्दिकायाम वेदांत महावाक्य भेरी है ना, भैरी बोलते हैं ना, कान की भैरी. The bheri is given in the ears, karnamula. Then he woke up. This is the beauty. Woke up to what? He observed everything, he observed himself. He found all of those things are one Brahman only, and that Brahman is me. वहां conclude हुआ उपनिषद. क्रिएशन करके हमको फंसा के भगवान कहीं बैठ के सो रहे, चाय पी रहे, वहां कंक्लूड नहीं हुआ. That is why in the Bhashyam, how beautifully the Bhashyakara said, it started with Atmava idam ekameva agre asit. That is what actually to be told. But we are seeing the word, the whole drama taught. But what is the end? Idam Brahma tata mama pashyatu. Is it not? Idam Brahma tata tamam apashyatu. उपक्रम उपसंहार दोनों एकमेव द्वयम ब्रह्म इंडिकेट कर रहे. So for the sake of that, all this Srishti said. Why? Because if really Srishti is accepted, then the Jiva entry accepted, then the Jiva going through samsara accepted. Samsara continues, then there is no moksha. Isn't it? Okay, now what are the four things, or three or four? Our Bhagavan Adi Shankara explains to that Pura Pakshi when he says, therefore Anupapannam Syadidam, means all this telling is of no use then. because everything is Mrusha. मैंने तो एक ही क्वेश्चन किया, how he entered Simana Vidarya. You तो told the whole things are questionable. So what did he say? Astu tari sarvam eva idam anupapannam. So that means what's all of that is only like a Chandamama story, has no consequence at all. Nothing is right there then, Shruti Mata. Therefore I can leave the Shruti studying and go to study some novels. Like, no, no. One by one. First thing. First is, be careful. Atra Atma Avabodha Matrasya Vivakshitatvatu. Atra means in this Upanishad. It is Upanishad. It is not any cock and bull story or any of the Panchatantra story or Chandamama stories. Be careful, be conscious, be apply oneself with total attentiveness and Shraddha to grasp these things. First, he says, no, it is not Anupamannam, it is Upapanna. Upapanna means it is jaiz hai, वहाँ ये प्रसंग देना श्रुति माता के लिए, it is correct, it is required. First, अत्र आत्म अवबोध मात्रस्य विवक्षितत्वात्. So in this whole Upanishadic literature, what is Vaktum Ichha of all the gurus, all the rishis, Shruti Mata? Vivakshita अर्थ क्या है? Vivakshit means Vaktum Ichha. क्या कहना चाहते हैं? Atma Avabodha Matrasya. Only the self-knowledge is the purpose there. Therefore, that is said in the beginning, that is said at the end. All other thing is Arthavadaha. And is using the Arthavada to reach to some wanted conclusion is always entertained in our general Vyavahara, as we gave the example of children, etc. So to hear this whole Arthavada helped this way. Arthavada means a vada which is for some particular artha, which it may not be that artha which is meant there, which is mentioned there. So what is mentioned is Srushti, but what is meant is not Srushti. What is meant is Atma Avabodha Matrasya Vivakshita. The desire of Shruti Mata and Rishis to convey to us about the Atma Tattva, to awaken us to the Atma Tattva, that is the Vivakshita Artha. And then everything else, other stories, only Arthavada. Just a means given to us, like throughout में क्या कह रहे वहाँ परमात्मा का अस्तित्व तो बता ही जा रहे ना. So that is the main purpose. The all other thing is Arthavada Matra. So that way the Arthavada, it is not real, but Arthavada is required for conveying something. And here the thing to be conveyed, the Vivakshita Artha is Atma Avabodha, the presence of the Self, and he is that Brahma Swarupa Sarva Vyapaka Ityadi. First explanation. Okay. Second explanation. First is Arthavada के दृष्टि से बताया, but Arthavada is always to convey something. That conveying thing here, the Vivakshita Artha is Atma Avabodhanam, to awaken us to the presence of Paramatma, because we are lost only in the world and ourselves as Jiva. Neither we are minding about the Paramatma, either the cause of it, or the one who is permeated in it, or as the substratum of it, or as the ultimate goal to be reached. I सारे miss कर रहे हैं ना, इतने फंसे हैं. Therefore, if the conveying point is Atma Vastu, we are seeing the world. Therefore, he is said to be there before the world, and from him only the Sankalpa has come, Vikshana, and he has created, he has entered. All of that is to introduce into us Atma Avabodha. That is the purpose of it. Otherwise, the whole Srishti, all these happenings are not otherwise have any purpose. One thing. First one is the Vivakshita Artha is different, therefore it is Arthavada, it is accepted. Again I am saying, the purpose of this whole first chapter is to convey about the presence of the Atma Vastu. Okay, why? Because we are not minding it at all. We are taking the world as real, we are as real, and living life as samsara. Then while telling us the Atma Vastu, if they say in a different way, we may not easily accept. If we take the world which we are taking as real, as some helping thing, there may be a chance for the listeners to accept. Therefore, as an Arthavada, the Srishti Prakriya is taken. And in Mandukya also we studied, in Taittiriya also we studied, the entire Srishti Vada is not to prove the Srishti has happened, Srishti is real. Because once we fall trap into that thought, then our own mind says, if it is real, how can I come out of it? Because reality को हम कभी कुछ कर नहीं सकते. Because that is the meaning of reality. And if the Jagat is real, samsara is real, you can never transcend it. Then there will be no moksha prasanga at all. The entire Vedanta, Adhyatma, Upanishad, Sadhana, all become null and void. But that's not the thing. Millions of the people became sadhakas and realized the self, got liberated from this samsara. मुक्ति हो गया मतलब क्या हुआ? उनको आत्मा अनुभव हुआ. आत्मा अनुभव हुआ मतलब क्या हुआ? कि होल वर्ल्ड इज अनरियल. उनको पता चला क्यों? क्योंकि इट्स रियली अनरियल. If it is real करके पता चलता है. Yeah, na? All inquiries, experiments our rishis have done, then they discovered the world to be real. Then they would have given us only the Bhoga Shastra, Artha Shastra, Kama Shastra, not the Moksha Shastra. क्या जरूरत है मोक्ष शास्त्र का जब मोक्ष संभव नहीं है? Why moksha is not sambhava? Because the world is real. In the world you are bound. There is no chance of moksha. So first point clear. Arthavad hai ये सारा सृष्टि प्रक्रिया. But vivakshita artha is to convey about the presence of pure Paramatma. Everywhere, everything is here alone. So, and you have to be mindful. If you have missed those thoughts, you also use your brain to catch them. One or two of them are what? He created, we have not missed, it is said. He has created the world without taking anything else as the help. And now, while Creator's glory is explained in the beginning of this discussion, it was said, Anyam anupadaya eva. So if he has not taken the help of anything else, then whose help he must have taken to create? His own self. Therefore, himself is there in the form of the lokas, in the form of devatas, in the form of the shariras, in the form of the annada, everything is he alone is playing the play. And then question, how he playing all of that? That is his Ikshana Shakti or Maya Shakti. So then he has become so many in the world. Has he lost his own original nature? Luckily he has not. That's why we are able to realize him transcending all that. Isn't it? See that. In our Yadevi Sarabhuteshu also is a, she alone is there, Bhakti Shraddha Rupena, Siddhi Rupena, even Bhranti Rupena she is there, Lajja Rupena. One point. Now second one. Second is what? Ki Maya Avivadva. And the question how he created, it is answered. Maya Avivadva is Va means or. The second purpose of giving this Srishtivada here is what? Mayavivat. That the Lord is a Mayavi. और मायावी की तरह भगवान ने बनाया. So मायाविवद्वा. What is मायावी does? You know that जादूगर जो इंद्रजालिका कुछ भी नहीं होता, बट एक डंडा कुछ है हाथ में, उसको ही घुमा फिरा के he will create the Gandharva Nagari. He will create a variety of the kings there, even Sainyam, the horses. What that Mayavi does it without any other material and from himself. In that the two things are what? They are for the entertaining purpose, and in reality the creation appeared but not happened. Isn't it? This is the second explanation. Thank God, luckily in the technology developed world, for us understanding it is so easy. We gave you the example yesterday of this movie makers, cinema. They are the Mayavi. Their Maya Indrajala alone is the entire movie of 3 hours. Nothing of that happened, but everything is imagined, projected. And imagined, trained, rehearsal किया, shooting हो गया, उसको edit करके, then they projected on the screen. What a wonderful thing that this movie industry हमको example दिया. Isn't it? It's a Mayavi only. Is it not? अब देखो, How many things? In 3 hours they show the entire life. How can in 3 hours पूरा life होएगा? But he can show, and we never question him. You go on watching the movie, and suddenly from the child वो cycle चलाते चलाते they show him to become the hero, the youth. है कि नहीं? Then the villain is in the other country. He'll have to take revenge with the hero because he did something. In 2 minutes from America, he comes to India. And we accept it. We don't ask him, अरे उसने ticket book कर ली होगी, फिर where the immigration and all, boarding the flight, it has to take off, safely land, then he should come out of the airport taking his luggage. Do they show all of that? But without that, the journey होता है क्या? They're really reaching to one other country. And जब song वांग लगाते हैं, तो 5 minute song में they take you all over the country. They take you to the desert also, they take you to the rivers also, they take you to the snowfall places also, they take on to some building or the tree with different backgrounds and dresses change. Does it happen in 2 minutes like that? Isn't it? And somebody died. Within 2 minutes another scene. अरे कोई मरा है तो उसको ले जाकर घंटे लगते हैं, 1-2 दिन होता है सब करने को. Is it everything is there a Mayavi only? And then the villain is caught and immediately is put it in the jail. तुरंत ऐसा थोड़े थे, उसको पकड़ लिया, हथकड़ी डाली, कार में डाला या वो व्हीकल में ले गए, इतने सारे, but they don't show it. What a good example for us. But उसका अर्थवाद क्या है? Entertain the people. Now ये ordinary human मायावी और ये cinema producer director मायावी, if they can imagine and produce a Maya प्रपंच, that is the point. यथा मायाविवत महामाया मायावी वद्वा. What is that? Just like a मायावी की महामायावी देवः, the Lord who is a Mahamayavi, Sarvajnaha, who is all knowing, Sarvashakti, he is all powerful, Sarvametat Chakara. He has done all of that. Again, same example. Mayavi use kiya shabda, so you should not forget the main thing. But the main thing, he makes it appear as it has happened or real, but really the Mayavi has not created it. Director, producer makes it appear something, a creation of movie, and appears to be real, but what is to be caught is, no, it is not real. So too, the Mahamayavi made the whole creation, but not real. And exactly as he questioned Simana Vidarya, to the Bhashakara or Siddhartha added so many questions. Impossibilities. Same we have proved in the movie, the impossibilities. You know, the way the cars jump, the lorries jump, ये सब स्टंट मास्टर्स करते हैं थोड़ा बेचारे, इतने एक्सीडेंट होते रहते हैं उनको. All are attributed to the hero. In fact, the lip movement and the dialogues, जो बोलना उनका है काम, but उनको join करके दिखाना. And the background voice देने वाले अलग, we don't know background इतना होता है वहाँ. So, all these things that he has done the Ikshana, and without the Antakarana or the Karanas, then from the waters he has brought that Devata, and he made a Murti. ये सारे is like you see in the movie also, so many things they show. And the Western movies तो आजकल इतने advanced हो गए, साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज करके. You see all these Chinese, Japanese movies, Chinese वाले सारे वो उनका हमेशा दृश्य शक्तियां, अतीन्द्रिय शक्तियां, वो बहुत बड़े हो. We are very far behind compared to them. But हम मजा है, हम जो है ना घर घर की कहानियां सिनेमा निकालते हैं, उसे हो जाए. Anyway, so Mahamayavi but. So answer is what? Mahamayavi Devaha Sarvajnaha Sarvashakti. And this director or producer can conceive so many stories. and he has got all the sufficient money to bring out the movie, therefore he is doing it. So to the Lord is Sarvagna, he is a Sarvashaktiman, then he can with his Sarvagna Sarvashaktiman can be attended to, not create, but can project all this world. And in that, so many discrepancies, so many shortcomings, so many unanswerable things can be there. Like if you start asking everything in the movie car, you can never get the joy of that movie. It is not real. Then only there is. We all see movie knowing that it is unreal. That is why it doesn't affect. So too Jnani lives in the same world knowing that everything is projection, not real. Second is this one. What is that? Mayavi Vadva Mahamayavi Devaha Sarvajnaha Sarvashaktihi Sarvametat Chakara. Yes, he is the one who has done all these things without doing. Nothing of the creation is real. How nice, this discussion. Now, the third reasoning is being given here. Sarveshwara. What is the third one? Ki Sukha Avabodhana Pratipatyartham Lokavat. Sukha Avabodhana Pratipatyartham. Pratipat means obtaining. For the obtainment of easy understanding. For the obtainment of easy understanding. Easy understanding of what? About Brahman only, because that is a Vivakshitartha. For the easy understanding about the Vishaya, the Brahma Tattva, Lokavat, like in the world. What is that? Ki Akhyayika Adi Prapancha iti Yuktatara Paksha. That this Paksha is Yuktatara, this the way of putting it, because an Akhyayika. In the world also, when a story is told, through that story, the thing is easily conveyed. As I told you, the Panchatantram is so beautiful. It goes on conveying such a niti for us through the story in which it is shown as if the animals are talking to each other, etc. So to the stories of Chandamama and all, even Mahabharata, Ramayana, though they are itihasas, it is happened. But क्यों लिखा है उसको story के रूप में? What do we have to do with it when it has happened 5,000 years back? You have to understand. Not as an entertainment only, but live like Rama with Dharma. Don't live like Ravana with all that. Live like Pandavas with Dharma, not like Kauravas with Adharma. So to teach us that the happened stories, many other stories, unhappened also, are written by the Kathakara. And they keep a theme. पीछे एक थीम रखते हैं. उस थीम को easily convey करने के लिए. That story of rabbit and hare, rabbit and tortoise. What is it? Don't be overconfident. That is learned from the rabbit. And be consistent in your effort. That is learned from the tortoise. More than the abilities, your consistency is the one secret of success. To convey this knowledge, that Akhyayika, the story is told. I mean, unfortunately or fortunately, I am not a good storyteller. Never I tried, कभी try होता ही नहीं मेरे को ये कहानी आता ही नहीं यार. There are some people, they do tell the mesmerizing so many kahanis, and they read those kahani books also. They remember the story and all. Like some read jokes and they remember jokes and tell. I don't put all that effort. I am very lazy. So, but you know the kahani. So, Lokavat आख्यायिके द्वारा आख्यायिका के द्वारा सुख प्रतिपत्ति अर्थम सुखावबोधनार्थम ओके सुख अवबोधन प्रतिपत्त्यर्थम लोकवत् आख्यायिका आदि प्रपंचः इति युक्ततरः पक्ष पक्ष means this way of giving this creation is very good, like in the loka also through the kahani something is shown. So for us what is shown here is Paramatma only Pratipatti, but एक आख्यायिका बताया गया. So this is the third one. First one is see विवक्षितार्थ बताया आत्मा अवबोध मात्रस्य, therefore it is अर्थवाद. First explanation is basis of अर्थवाद. Second explanation is मायावी. Third explanation is Lokavat Akhyayika. For easy, underlining the word is what is the third thing? For the easy conveying of the thought. That way we saw the other day, yesterday, or in some other class, many places, when the thing is not at all understandable, graspable, an example is given, quickly it enters into the mind. ऐसे बताओ ना वो समझ लेते हो क्योंकि कुछ कुछ शब्द ना शब्द इज आर वेरी लिमिटेड शब्द को जो हमने अर्थ दिया वही अर्थ वो देते हैं हमको बैक दे आर सो वीक so meaningless so useless are the words and that's why they create more confusion than the clarity in our interaction. That is why in human life only there are all court cases and fightings only because of Shabda. In animal they never fight, never go to court, never do the talak and all because there are no Shabda. Please remember the Shabdas are so limited and so confusing. भयंकर है वो उसके द्वारा कहाँ सत्य आपको पता चलेगा. That is why example is shown. Many times Shabdas if I speaker to you and what context में which that word I am using, if you are not tuned to it or if I have not conveyed to you it or to the word which I am using here with whatever meaning, if you don't carry the same meaning to that word then and other meaning you have, then you will only misunderstand. गड़बड़ तो यही होता है ना. दैट इज अ होल थिंग एवरीडे वाइफ एंड हस्बैंड. वाइफ कहते मैं तो ये मेरा मतलब ये नहीं था. शी सेज एंड ही सेज नो मेरे को पता है तुमको तुम्हें पहले से तुम ऐसे मेरे को कह रहे हो. अरे यार शी सेइंग इट्स नॉट द इंटेंशन ऑफ मी बट यू नॉट लिसन बिकॉज ही हैज हिज ओन वे. Just giving an idea how the words are the cause of all problem. इसलिए मौनम minimum. So, example is required. Therefore, the कथा के द्वारा आख्यायिका के द्वारा easily convey कर सकते हैं. तो सुखा उपबोधन प्रतिपत्त्यर्थम लोकवत आख्यायिका आदि प्रपंचा इति युक्ततरा पक्षः. So, तीन हो गए. Now, the fourth one is most beautiful. मजा आया मेरे को सुनकर वो. What is the fourth one is कि न ही सृष्टि आख्यायिका आदि परिज्ञानात् किंचित फलमिष्यते. The fourth thing is how much our glorify करते हुए beautify करते हुए the whole creation story is explained. We attend that in this way he has created how much our decoratively the Srishti Katha is told, but still we have no benefit out of it. Isn't it? Like how much our Ramayana Katha है, हमको पर्सनली ओनली कथा से कुछ मतलब नहीं. So what is the outcome when the Srishti story is told? Are we getting liberated from it or what? No, it's only a story. It has nothing to do with our liberation. Whereas नहीं सृष्टियाख्यायिकादि परिज्ञानात् किंचित फलमिष्यते, but ऐकात्म्य स्वरूप परिज्ञानात्. But when we get the parijnana of the Eka Atma Swarupa, one without second self is my own self. This parijnana or anubhuti when comes, amrutatvam phalam, the result is the immortality. Ye to sarva upanishad prasiddham. In the every Upanishad this is common. Very, very much it is shown to us that with the discovery of the one without second self, there is a moksha prapti. Only by telling the story, no purpose. No faida only. Therefore, either Upanishad is giving us the Srishti Akhyayika or even Ishvara made the Srishti. Neither Akhyayika nor the made Srishti are the ones which are the purposes. Purposes is this one. Aika Atma Swarupa Parijnanat. क्या होता है उससे? तो अमृतत्वम फलम. The immortality is the beautiful result. Just by knowing the story, क्या फायदा? By saying this as a fourth option, again Shankara Bhagavan is so kind and intelligent to remind us, oh my dear friends, you may study any Upanishad and all, if you miss the main Vivakshita Artha of that, then it will not going to help you. The Vivakshita Artha is Eka Atma Pratipatti. There is the self of every one of them and the self of all of them is one without second self, and that is Paramatma. And on him, the whole world is just a projection, not real. Therefore, need not get caught up in the projected world and suffer. Just drop it, identify with the reality, experience the Amritattva, the immortality, the liberation. अब देखो ना, how much when we, these all discussions when we do, our intellects are getting opened up for the higher, deeper understandings. This is how the Vedanta works, isn't it? And if we leave it again, go back to the worldliness as real and make an issue and go on worldly, फिर ये सब भूल जाएंगे. इसी में लगे रहकर और पक्का ज्ञान बनाकर, really practically also, when we withdraw from things and sit on the meditational seat, and in that also stands in all upadhis and become a subtler and subtler and subtler, that self which is indicated is directly, pratyaksha rupena, aparoksha rupena, can be experienced. That is the whole purpose of entire Upanishadic, Vedantic, Brahmajnana literature. Again we have reminded. हो गया. Now Smritishu cha Gitasu, Smritishu cha Gitadyasu. Same thing is said in Smriti Grantha, so Gita आदि. जनरली उपनिषद का हेल्प लेते हैं शंकर भगवान. हमें स्मृति में स्मृति क्या है, उपनिषद का ही सार है, और कृष्ण इज द गिवर. Therefore that can be taken as quotation. He says samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. In that 13th chapter, few last श्लोक 27 श्लोक में आता है सर्वेषु भूतेषु समम tishtantam parameshwara. That Parameshwara, the Parabrahma Paramatma, who is in all beings, and in all beings he is sama, in the same manner. There is no vishamata in him. Means the big elephant is there, therefore in that the Bhagavan is big, and a small deer is there, in that Bhagavan is small, and a bird is there, in that is more smaller, and is a mosquito is there, is much smaller, a microbe is there, in that is very very small. ऐसा नहीं होता भगवान. He is सर्वेषु भूतेषु समम. Why it is so? Because that samam Paramatma is not quantifiable. Is some different substratum. It is something different, unique it is. You can't quantify it. Therefore, it cannot be big and small. That is why even the jiva के भी कोई size नहीं होता ना. इसलिए the jiva only becomes as big as an elephant. He himself becomes as big as small तितली. अरे how come इतना बड़ा शरीर में रहने वाला जीव छोटे तितली में घुस गया? He is not that way gross or thing as we see the world. It is a very subtle expression. It is. He has got no parameters of size, etc. Therefore, he can be the mosquito also. You know, in the old movies, Telugu में तो हम बहुत देखते थे, that hero and the Rakshas. No, the Rakshasa takes the form of the snake, immediately the hero takes the form of mongoose and उसके पीछे पड़ता. Rakshasa take the form of the deer and runs, then hero takes the form of the tiger and goes, और वैसा वैसा. क्षण में दिखाते हो. It's so interesting how they did it in those days, movie makers. I think the technology graphics है, आराम से ऐसे रूम में बैठकर कर सकते. But they have done all that, and they're all there in the stories. And like Masaka Samana Rupaka Pithori or Kanaka Bhudara Kara Sharira. If Hanumanji as a jiva, if he is as a size, how can he become small and big? In one life only it was shown. In one incident, only half an hour kitna bhi lagao time, he has shown himself to Sita ji in the Mashaka Rupa. After all discussion, she said कि तुम तेरा सब इतने छोटे हैं तो क्या करेंगे राक्षस इतने बड़े हैं. She expressed her fear, no? Immediately becomes so big. Then she is satisfied. ये all सारे जादू नहीं है बाबा. You should know they're all yoga shaktis. Now our point is here कि गीता में बताया. What is that? सर्वेषु भूतेषु समम तिष्ठन्तं. समम तिष्ठन्तं, who is there same in all the beings, and he is the Parameshwar. And in Gita one hint is given, continuation of that shloka. यहाँ तो एक ही quote किया शंकर भगवान ने आधा श्लोका. The second half of it is Vinashyatsu avinashyantam. The one who is imperishable amidst all the perishable things, supporting the coming and going of all things, himself neither coming and going. Yapashyati. Whoever is seeing that person, that's the reality, the truth, sapashyati. He is the one who is a real visionary. So Gita ka quotation. Okay? Ityadina. This is how this Srishtivada has got the purpose of conveying Ekamevatvayam Brahma. You hold on to that. Akhyayika and its discrepancies, other questions about it, और the reality है क्या वो, और भगवान ऐसा क्यों बनाया वैसा क्यों बनाया, none of the questions should be asked. They are not purpose. Otherwise we will be trapped in the Maya, like the creation नामक माया में फंसते थे, उसी तरह another माया है जिसका नाम मन है, you will be caught up in it. Trap in the mind is asking those questions which have no answer. That's the mind. There's nothing to ask. Everything is Brahman. You experience, that's all. No need of Shastra also. Can anything be there without you? Nothing can be there, because only when I am there I see it. Now when you don't see the world, you look at yourself. Is the world there? Not there. So when you look at the world, is the world there? There. So from where it must have come, the world which was not there when you are looking at yourself? It must have come from your own self. Therefore, is the world other than you? No. Then what is it? You alone is becoming the seer and the seen. Itna simple hai Veda. एक जगह कहते हुए इतना सिंपल वेदांत को ये गुरु आचार्य लोग ना इतना लंबा चौड़ा करके कॉम्प्लिकेट करा के ये भक्तों को शिष्यों को डराते and then go on passing the time by talking same thing for years together, hundreds of classes. In some cases ऐसे गुरु लोग तत्व से बोले तू you work out, no, I have nothing to teach. In our class, the Acharya goes on talking. Shota says, I have nothing to remember. और carry with me. कल को आप तो दोगे ना दोबारा. Is it not like you need not take the bed sheet, blanket in the AC compartment? वो लोग देते हैं. फिर आपको वापस करके उतरना पड़ेगा. Back नहीं करना. So anyway, this is one. Now the next topic is a very deep detailed वाला कि तीन आत्माएं बताए गए. Creator Atma, फंसा हुआ आत्मा, liberated आत्मा. That way, are there three Atmas? That is the discussion. Tomorrow we'll enjoy that one. Very lengthy, very beautiful it is. And it goes on for 20-25 pages. Or 10-15 pages with Bhashyam, meaning देखोगे तो. So we'll try. If I can catch it and I'll convey to you systematically, we see. Otherwise, we skip that, we go to the second अध्याय, प्रथम मंत्र इत्यादि, जो आज हमने कल भी पाठ किया था. Thank you. Om 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 Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो परमर्षिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे सतिमात्रे ओम तत्सत्. ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Thank you friends for your patience.